Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be doing a competency-based question for 3 marks. Now let's look at the question. A quilt maker has a rectangular quilt measuring 12 units by 8 units. He wants to add a border to it as shown in the figure below, and he has 64 square units of fabric for the border. Now if x and 2x are the widths of the borders as shown, then frame a quadratic equation using the total area enclosed by the new quilt. Also, find the measures of the new quilt with the border. Now show your work along with valid reasons. Okay, so let's first find out the original area of the quilt without the border. Okay, so original area of quilt is equal to, because its measure was 12 by 8 units, 12 units by 8 units, it will be 12 times 8, that is length times breadth, because it's a rectangular quilt. Okay, so that's equal to 96 units square. Now they've said that the quilt maker has 64 square units of fabric. So he is going to use that 64 square units to make the borders. Okay, so what will be the area of the quilt with the border? Area of quilt with border is going to be equal to the original area, which is 96, plus the extra 64 square units of fabric which he is going to use, and that's equal to 160 units square. Okay, so let's try to find out the length of the quilt with border. With border is going to be equal to, you can see from the figure that the length is going to be a sum of all of this. That is 12 plus 2x plus 2x, which gives me the length of the quilt with border is 12 plus 4x. On the other hand, the breadth of the quilt with border is going to be the sum of all of these terms. That is the ones that I'm marking, 8 plus x plus x. So that is 8 plus 2x. Now I can find the area of the quilt using the length and breadth with border, which gives me 12 plus 4x, that is length times breadth, that is 8 plus 2x. And I know this area is already we found out is equal to 160 units square. So I can equate this to 160. So let me open this up now. 96 plus 32x plus 24x plus 8x squared now becomes equal to 160, or 8x squared plus 56x plus 96 minus 160 is equal to 0, or 8x squared plus 56x minus 64 equal to 0. All of these numbers, all of the coefficients are divisible by 8. So let me divide throughout with 8, and I would get x squared plus 7x minus 8 is equal to 0. So now we have framed the quadratic equation. The first part they've asked you to frame the quadratic equation. So this is your quadratic equation. Now in the second part they've asked you to find the measures of the new quilt with border. Okay, so let me solve this quadratic equation and find what x is, and then I just need to substitute it in this, and I will get the length and breadth of the quilt with border. Okay, so that's x squared plus 7x minus 8 equal to 0. That's the second part of the question. Let me split the middle term as 8x minus x minus 8 equal to 0. So x into x plus 8 minus 1 into x plus 8 is equal to 0, which gives me x plus 8 times x minus 1 equal to 0. The values of x now becomes minus 8 and 1. Now, you know that length cannot be negative. Cannot be negative. Therefore, x cannot be equal to negative 8. Therefore, x is equal to 1. And what will be the length of the quilt with border? Length of the quilt with border is equal to 12 plus 4x. That is 12 plus 4 times 1, which is 12 plus 4, or that's equal to 16 units square. No, not units square, sorry, 16 units, because we're calculating the length. Now the breadth of the quilt with border we know is equal to 8 plus 2x. So 8 plus 2x, in this let me substitute x with 1. So 8 plus 2 times 1 gives me 10 units. So the length and breadth of the quilt with border will be 16 units and 10 units respectively. If you have a math question that you'd like me to cover, drop it in the comments and I'll be happy to do a video just for you. Also, if you like my video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.